Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Like to thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't already, hit the like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Um, it really helps out the channel. And well, with that, uh, we're going to try and make this a one full video, if at all possible. And let's go ahead and get into it. So everyone knows now by now that uh, Six Flags America in Bowie, Maryland, which is in the Washington, D.C. area, is closing uh, permanently at the end of the season. Um, Instead of talking bad about this park this time, we're going to talk about the possibly two flats and maybe two coasters that could eventually wind up at Frontier City. Now, at the end, closer to the end of the video, I will show everyone the lease agreement that Six Flags has with EPR Properties, and it will surprise you. So, with that, let me go ahead and get started on the rides that are possibly coming here. So, first and foremost is Wonder Woman's Lasso of Truth, which is a Starflyer, which is 240 feet in the air, I believe, and Eruption is poles were 250 feet in the air. So Oklahoma City doesn't have, Frontier City doesn't have that height limit past or below 250 feet. So the Flyer, which is Wonder Woman's Lasso of Truth, would be perfect fit for the spot where Eruption used to sit, as you can see. Uh, I don't see anything else that would fit there other than a drop tower, but they've been taking them out. Uh, I remember what park that Carowinds took theirs out. I know that for a fact. Uh, they took theirs out, and here lately they've been taking out a lot of the rides out of these parks that are maintenance nightmare. Uh, that's one of them. Okay, so as Harley Quinn Spinsanity, as a Zampirla Giant Discovery. I don't think it's the Giga. I think this one's the Giant. This one can be placed right here in the little grassy area where the amphitheater's at. The only time they ever really use that is Fright Fest. They can place that anywhere right there because they don't use the amphitheater except for churchgoers, events, and I think cheerleader. I'm not for sure about that. Uh, that would be that would be a perfect spot for it. That way, it's easy access to it, and it goes what 75 miles an hour. It goes up to was 150 feet, I believe. But it's still kind of new. It was 2018, 2017, 18, or 19. I don't remember which one it was when it was installed up there. I'm not too familiar with that area, so I can't remember that. Uh, it, this would be a almost a perfect, just about a perfect fit for this. I'm not sure if they're gonna put the skyscraper and the giant uh, discovery uh, in 2026, which would that's next season, uh, to get the attendance started, um, or they may wait till 2027. But I really don't think they're going to wait that long. Uh, that would be that's my first guess is the Starflyer and the Giant Discovery could easily come here and be placed right there in that eruption spot and the right here in the amphitheater area. So one of the other coasters, which is a couple of them, one of them is the Raging Cajun. Uh, it's it's one of those spinning coasters that would fit perfectly inside the Nightmare Mine building. It's one of those portable fair types. Uh, it's the height is 43 feet. You know, it was introduced in 2014 out there. Now they've already got one out at Discovery Kingdom. I mean, there's very few of them that's probably in the parks. This one here would be just perfect to fit right here inside the Nightmare Mine. It it won't take very long to take it down and put it back up. Uh, it would be a fan favorite. It'd be out of the air. It'd be out of the hot air during the summertime, which we all know about that down here in Oklahoma. And you can run it a lot longer than most of the other rides. So everybody is really asking about the Superman Ride of Steel out at Six Flags America. Now, I for one would rather save the coaster rather than it being scrapped and the trains being relocated to like Darien Lake or to probably Six Flags of England. Uh, I would I would much prefer it to be saved, because it hasn't been relocated at all. It was installed at the park in 2000. The track length is 5,350 feet. Uh, the height is, I think it's 222 feet, maybe 205 feet. I don't remember which one it is, um, which is just under the 250 foot limit that Oklahoma City has on the zoning requirements. So they don't have to go to the city to get the height restriction removed. It's an Intamin, it's an older Intamin, but it's still kind of an original. Now, a lot of people are asking, why would you think Frontier City deserves that? Well, number one, we've got all that extra land, as you can see here. It's all been cleared out. Uh, they cleared it out in 2002, I believe. And in 2002, there was an old, or 2001, maybe 2001. There was a old hotel that belonged to the park that sat right there next to the parking lot, the main parking lot. They took it out saying they needed it for extra parking spots, the expanding of the parking lot. Why would you? I don't know why anybody thought that they could just take out it was old and rotted out. I know that, but there's no way you're going to expand the parking lot and not add anything major. This right here can fit perfectly right over in the boneyard, or the undeveloped land, which is 60 acres. The park is a total of 113 acres, and the park only uses 53 of it. So you, you put something like this in there, this park would be slaughtered. It would be like a Slaughterville, trying to get through the parking, trying to get through the park, trying to get over to the ride itself. So that right there tells you everything you need to know. So now comes the biggest part of the whole ordeal about all these park closures and selling off of these properties and whatnot to other companies. Now, Frontier City right here, as you can see, is 113 acres, and all five of the properties that it got back in 2018 was considered a leasehold. Uh, Now, before I get into what the leasehold is, this lease expires for all five of these properties in 2037. The leasehold itself is basically it's basically so you can Google it if you want to about leasehold. Uh, it's basically saying that the park has 100% right to. It's like a temporary ownership of the park, not the land. They don't have any control over the land, nor closing of it or selling off of it. They only control the land. They can take and add all these rides into the park under their terms if they wanted to. I don't think they will, but we still don't know how many either. And if you think back, CNL Income, which uh, bought the lease or bought the park from Six Flags back in 2006, 7, whenever the Six Flags bankruptcy went haywire. Premier Parks bought the lease from CNL Income at that time. They installed Steel Lasso back in 2008 from Vekoma. Now the company bought that, not CNL. Well, then change of hands came along and it became EPR Properties. Premier Parks stayed with the lease during that time frame. They turned around and purchased what would be called Brain Drain, the looping coaster. Then they turned around and purchased, it was over $1 million, Wild West Waterworks. Well, all that Premier Parks went and purchased, they sold the lease agreement to Six Flags and the rides along with it. Now, Karen Burke, which is founder of Premier Parks, gave a little statement about what that hap- what had happened about that. He says any park operator that purchases a lease, he says, has the right to purchase rides, install them, sell the lease along with the property, the lease, the rides themselves, along with the lease at their price. That's how come he sold the lease with all the rides and those slides to Six Flags. Now, Six Flags in turn turned around and revitalized, which used to be Paul Bunyan's Tiny Timber Town, uh, which was the family section. Well, they turned around and revitalized it and made it Timber Town. That's a Six Flags trademark. They also uh, have been doing nothing but major infrastructure work, which is millions of dollars. And I'm talking millions. They uh, they have probably spent probably, let's see, Timbertown. Someone said it was between 8 and 10 million because of that they the trademark they put on because of Timbertown and all the rides. Some of them were relocated. Some one of them was new, and that's a kid coaster. So, th- with that being said, the, there's no way that Six Flags is going to sell this property or sell this land, the lease, excuse me, to someone else when the Olympics are just uh, right at 3 years away. They see dollar signs, they see increased attendance. Well, now with that being said, I'm going to end that here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscriptions. Hit that like button, share. I'm going to open up the comments, and thank you all for supporting the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.